Do you have a hard time reaching orgasm? Or maybe you never orgasmed with your partner ever? I'm going to answer the most common questions I get as a sexologist related to delayed ejaculation. So subscribe to this channel if you're looking for sex-related advice. And if you've been subscribed, welcome back. The first main question I get is, what exactly is delayed ejaculation? There are a lot of guys who have delayed ejaculation and don't even know the term for it because it's not talked about very often, sadly. Delayed ejaculation is when it takes an extended period of time for you to get to the point where you're aroused enough to ejaculate. Now, a lot of men who experience delayed ejaculation consistently will have some sort of time frame. There are a lot of guys who feel like, oh, a little over an hour and I'll get there, but it is always after an hour. Some guys are never even sure if they'll be able to come, and I know this is frustrating for you guys. Since so many more guys struggle with premature ejaculation, they'll tell you things like, oh yeah, I wish I had that problem, or like, delayed ejaculation is probably the best problem to have. People will say shit like that just not knowing that it's only fun for so long. It's not fun when you've been so horny and then all of a sudden you lose it and you cannot reach an orgasm. It's not fun to have your partner feel like she's not good enough for you and constantly saying things to you like, am I not good enough? Am I not attractive enough? What's wrong with you? So I get that all those things are real, and I just want to say that this is just as much of a problem as premature ejaculation is. Next question. Do a lot of men experience delayed ejaculation? It's only about like 4% of men who struggle with delayed ejaculation. I mean, for me, it seems just as popular as premature ejaculation, but I know it's not. That's why there's not a ton of videos around delayed ejaculation. There's just not a lot of awareness around it. Next question is, why can't I ejaculate during sex? Why can't I orgasm? What's actually going on? So there are multiple reasons why you could be experiencing delayed ejaculation. This is important to know because the treatment for your DE is dependent upon the cause of your DE. So let's talk about causes. So first, there are psychological causes of DE. This involves anxiety, stress, relationship issues, lack of communication in your relationship, previous traumatic sex experiences, performance anxiety. Then there are the medical causes of delayed ejaculation: diabetes, prostate problems, hormonal issues, and thyroid disorders. Then we have the medication causes. These especially involve antidepressants, such as SSRIs, blood pressure medications, and also diuretics. Then we have the lifestyle causes. These include a lot of alcohol consumption or substance abuse, poor masturbation habits, too much porn, lack of exercise, lack of good sleep. Another cause is aging. So as you age, your nerves will age with you, and this leads to a lower sensitivity level. But not all men will experience this in their penis. And then the last type of cause we'll call emotional. This could involve religious or cultural factors that interfere with the way you perceive sex, feel about sex, feel about having an orgasm, feel accepting pleasure. And then there's also feeling any sort of guilt, right? Emotional guilt or shame when it comes to sex. This will definitely keep you psychologically distanced from the activity or from orgasm specifically. The next question is, how do you help men who struggle with delayed ejaculation? So because I'm not a doctor, I'm a sexologist, I am able to help men who struggle with delayed ejaculation due to the causes of psychological causes, lifestyle causes, or emotional causes. And this is why I created a delayed ejaculation masterclass. This will help you learn about the multiple different causes of DE on a psychological level and what you can do to overcome your DE. If you're interested in that masterclass, which also involves some delayed ejaculation meditations to help you, then you could check out the link for that in the description of this video. I've also worked with men one-on-one to help them with delayed ejaculation. I actually worked with a guy who struggled with DE for 17 years. Then he came to me, we worked together. Within 4 months, he was seeing a huge improvement of not only having a lot more sex with his partner because there wasn't any more pressure on their relationship to have sex, but they were enjoying it more, they were having it more, and he was actually coming from sex. So that was a really exciting testimonial and very rewarding to help someone who, after so many years of struggling, was finally willing to get help, put in the work to have it work out for himself and his partner, and now they're really enjoying their sex life more than they ever have. It is possible for you. Don't feel like just because you've been struggling with this for so long that it's just a problem that will never go away. That's not always the case. In fact, most of the time, that's not the case. So this is what I've experienced as a coach helping men with delayed ejaculation. I'll just tell you a little bit about the similarities. And these are just the similarities based on the men I've worked with struggling with delayed ejaculation. Number one, they're struggling with performance anxiety. They're always worried if they're pleasuring her enough, and they are in a way disconnected from their own body because there's so much focus on her and her pleasure and trying to do it for her, and they're not actually feeling pleasure themselves. A second similarity is they don't know what they personally want to experience pleasure, to feel good. A lot of guys with DE, I've noticed, will not have a clear idea of what really turns them on because of the first point I made, which is they're so focused on her, they forget to pay attention to themselves and their own bodies. A third similarity is they don't masturbate in a way that helps their delayed ejaculation. In fact, the way they are in a habit of masturbating is keeping their habit of DE the same, or sometimes even making it worse. A fourth similarity of men with DE that I see as a sexologist is they don't talk openly with their partner about sex, about what feels good, about what maybe doesn't, about what they'd want to try, do a little differently, about adding some variety in. There's not a lot of talk around sexual feelings or sexual pleasure. Therefore, there's not good understanding of it. And the fifth similarity I see is that they will watch porn just about every single time they masturbate. So now that I've shared those similarities with you, I'm just gonna give you a basic idea of how I help these guys. And this is gonna be a bit more on the general side since every single guy is different. When I'm able to work with a guy one-on-one, I'm able to see his particular lifestyle, the way that he specifically masturbates, get an understanding of his specific desires, his relationship with his partner, the sex that they both prefer, so it differs from guy to guy. But in a general sense, here's how I help men with delayed ejaculation. The first thing I'll do is help them understand and prioritize their own pleasure a bit more. So what does this mean? Our bodies go through phases sexually. We will have different turn-ons and different cravings and desire different things sexually at different phases in life. We will even enjoy different types of physical touch at different phases in life. So if you're not bringing variety, you're not learning this about yourself, then you're not understanding your own pleasure. If you think that your pleasure and what feels good for you is what felt good to you in your 20s, and it's not working out for you right now, that's telling you something. It's telling you you should probably try something new. Variety is really important, not only to spice things up with your partner, but also to learn about yourself and where you're at in this sexual phase of life. When guys with DE understand their pleasure a bit more, then they're able to prioritize it. They're able to ask for things that they know turns them on at this phase in life. And when they know that thing turns them on and they feel connected to it, they're able to get into their body again. So this understanding and this reprioritization really helps men with DE. The second major thing I do to help men overcome their delayed ejaculation is I teach them the proper communication skills needed to talk with their partner about what feels good to them now, and help them get comfortable asking their partner certain questions to see what really gets her turned on now. Right? Just as she also has different sexual phases of life. When my clients have these types of conversations with their partners, they not only feel more relieved, but they feel more confident because now they have this information that they're no longer guessing, they know. And when you're both confident, you're giving each other the type of pleasure you really want, you're much more likely to relax, feel good, have fun, and reach an orgasm. The third way I typically help men with delayed ejaculation to overcome their DE is to help them monitor their self-talk. There's a lot of pressure involved when it comes to DE, and a lot of that pressure is coming from you. So if you're struggling with DE, you might notice that you have this self-talk where it's like, all right, you better fucking come, or just push through it. There are a lot of guys who mentally push through it and actually physically try to push through it. And that's not helping you. It's creating unhealthy habits physically and mentally. So you want to really monitor the way you're talking to yourself and the way you're using words around sex. Because the word push is not a pleasurable word. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't have a good connotation. It's not relaxing. It feels forced, right? That's not the feeling you want when you're having great sex, when you're having an orgasm. Push is not the thing you want to do. So helping men understand their self-talk and change it so that they're no longer viewing sex in that forceful, pressured way, and they're able to go into it in a more relaxed way, which is likely to help them stay more connected, be present, reach an orgasm. And the final way I typically help men overcome delayed ejaculation is by changing up their masturbation habits. This way they can use masturbation as a tool. They can actually practice using their mind to help get them to a heightened arousal state, maybe changing up their grip so that the physical sensation is different. Also play around with the time frame of the masturbation experience so that they're not rushing during masturbation and having DE with their partner, and a bunch of other fun stuff. So if you're wanting more help overcoming your delayed ejaculation, sure, my masterclass will teach you a lot more about it, help you understand what you need to stop doing in your current sex life and start doing so that you can have more of the type of sex you want, the type of sex you feel more in control over. The DE masterclass is in the description of this video. And if you want more one-on-one help from me, maybe more personal direction or a higher level of accountability, you can also apply for coaching. That coaching link will also be in the description of this video. Regardless of whether you decide to take either of those steps, I hope this video helped you and made you realize that you can overcome your delayed ejaculation. Don't give up on yourself. You got this. Get support if you need it.